No, I didn't say go ahead. I would say you get away.
Former White House senior advisor and Deputy Chief of Staff Karl Rove was shouted down and forced to leave by a small group of anti-war protesters at a book signing event in Beverly Hills. The co-founder of the anti-war group Code Pink tried to make a citizen's arrest of Rove and advanced toward him with a pair of handcuffs.
Look what you did. You outed a CIA officer. You lied to take us to war. You ruined the country. Totally ruined the country.
As Code Pink co-founder Jody Evans was pushed away, another protester confronted Rove, charging he's a war criminal.
Here's the deal.
The comfort I take is that you're going to rot in hell.
Oh, stop it.
With no visible security around,
Jody Evans, co-founder of Code Pink, you saw her on the video right there, joins us now on the telephone from San Francisco. Jody, a pleasure to have you. I teased your appearance here on the Young Turks as an example of some of, shall we say, the more unconventional ways that Americans can express their dissatisfaction and their sense of betrayal, understandable betrayal, from a government who clearly is enabling special interests, outdated individuals and corporations their opportunity to extract at the expense of the current and future stability and prosperity of this country. Where do you draw the line, and what do you see as basically acceptable and valuable societal behavior in the civil discourse beyond the free press, your vote, and how you spend your money, and how do you draw that line?
Well, I don't know that there's a line to be, the line I would draw is to be violent or to in any way be what it is I'm trying to change. But, for us at Code Pink, it's about being visible. It's about being creative. It's about, if you take something straight on, people tend to resist it. So we use humor, I call it the bank shot, to kind of expose the stupidity or the greed or, whatever we want to be exposing. We tell that story visibly. Like earlier this week on Monday when we, undressed to show the naked truth of Drill Baby Drill and the greed of British Petroleum. And, by going naked ourselves, really using that as a way of like, this is the extreme that we will go to show the obscenity of the greed of British Petroleum and what they've done to the Gulf Coast and, lives. This isn't the first time people's lives have been lost because of British Petroleum's greed. So, we try to look at each example, each opportunity, and come at it as fresh as we can because we know that we have to continue to inspire an asleep media and an asleep electorate.
You say an asleep media and an asleep electorate. Do you feel like it's waking up, either the media or the electorate?
I have to say that I'm a little impressed with the media around this British Petroleum catastrophe, but only impressed in the sense that they seem to be waking up, not impressed in any way with what they should be doing and what, more they should be telling and how long, it's taken them a while to wake up. But they were definitely asleep when when we invaded Iraq. I blame a lot of that on the media. And, now we're out $1 trillion that's much needed for jobs and now, a new energy policy, which obviously we're seeing the desperate need of in the last, 5 weeks.
If you look at the activist history in this country, it obviously has happened in waves, going not just back to the 60s, but going back centuries. If you look at the Industrial Revolution and what the robber barons tried to do to California at the turn of the century, effectively trying to cut every tree in the state down in order to make money, and it was through activists like John Muir and his journalism and his efforts and others like him, and then the pressure that created on our politicians to change those policies that ultimately protected the redwoods and created the national parks. We find ourselves in a situation that is not dissimilar. Obviously, the narrative and the stories of the war protests and everything that led up to and came out of that 40, 50 years ago now is well documented. Are you surprised at the absence of protest and expression from the youth of today, relative to the fact that they're the ones that will pay the vast majority of the burden for the extraction that's going on, whether it's natural resources or economic?
Well, the youth of today, if we're talking right now, I have to say I'm really impressed with this generation that's, just graduating from college. I work with many of them in many different ways on the environment, on immigration, on Don't Ask, Don't Tell, on, anti-war issues. And I really feel that this generation, this group right now, I'm impressed with who they are, what they understand, what they're willing to fight for, and what that they're willing to give up everything right now, and know that their future really depends on their engagement right now. And, I work with a lot of very young leaders, that are in their early 20s, but leading organizations. Right now, activism is a lot about social media. And, in the social media, it's youth. And the only way you speak to them, youth right now, is through social media. And that skill set is being developed at a rapid pace. And, I find myself, having trouble keeping up with it. Should it be more? Yes, it should be more. And I think that many youth understand that their future is at risk, and that they're willing to give up everything right now and step forward.
Yeah, tell us a little bit more about Code Pink. How did it come to be? Who does it consist of? And if others want to help you in your efforts, how do they go about doing that?
Well, we started the day that Bush put forth a resolution for a preemptive strike on an innocent country, and he'd been scaring the American public with Code Red, Code Orange, and Code Yellow, and we said, no, we're going to call Code Pink for peace and have a women's preemptive strike for peace. We're, a women-initiated and led organization, but we have many men. We have local organizations in 250 cities that, do their own activism. Tomorrow in New York City, the New York City gals are doing another Naked Truth event around British Petroleum. We've continued, we work on accountability, we work on ending wars, we work on Gaza. We've taken 7 delegations to Gaza and then organized 1,400 people to go to Cairo at the end of last year for the Gaza Freedom March. We have one of our members on the boats on their way to Gaza now with aid. We work on exposing wherever, violence and war are creating an unsafe world, because if we don't respect human rights, that's where our real security is being devastated.
And it's codepink.org?
It's codepink.org.
Do I have to be a woman? Do I have to be a woman to sign up?
Oh, there's many, many amazing men who are part of Code Pink. And you can sign up for alerts. We send out alerts once a week that give you a chance to be engaged and active and learn what the issues are, learn what the media is not telling you, and a way to be engaged that isn't just calling your member of Congress.
It sounds like also a nice place to meet women.
If that's what you want, I'm sure you can find some awesome, amazing women. We're
obviously familiar with the Karl Rove arrest and the Naked Truth. How do you pick subjects that you think you're going to be able to get the media coverage that you seek, and where do you think, what's the next location in this country that you think Code Pink is likely to target?
Well, I don't know that we always pick for media attention. We usually pick because we feel no one else's voice is there, and we have to stand next to it and tell the truth, expose the lies, expose the emperor has no clothes. That's why often you see us in hearings saying what, everyone feels, but no one's saying. So sometimes we're all alone because we feel like if there's no one standing there, at least naming what's wrong, we can't even start the road to accountability. So right now, the focus is on British Petroleum. The focus, will stay on British Petroleum and on Obama. That, he's the one that's been really slow right here. He's really dragging his feet, and right now he just has to come out and say we've got to change our dependence on oil. It's so obvious. How much more obvious can it be? You know, oil has destroyed, you know, Nigeria and Ecuador, and it's coming and to our shores, and that will continue to happen until we change direction. And by changing direction, we solve many problems: global climate change, our addiction to oil, and the need for jobs. So we try at Code Pink to weave all the different issues together so that everybody can see, like, the cost of war, the cost of oil, so that we can start moving this in the direction of sustainability.
Do you feel like we're getting the information we need to be getting out of the Gulf?
Oh, no, not at all. Matter of fact, my partner, Medea Benjamin, was just down there, and they're still, you know, not letting you take pictures. The story is still hard to tell. She went out with the Coast Guard. She said they're running around like chickens with their heads cut off. They have no idea what they're doing. You know, Obama in his speech earlier today talked about how many boats are out there, but it's not how many boats are out there. It's like, what are they doing that's real to affect this disaster? And that, you know, we're not getting that story. And, you know, you're not going to get it from British Petroleum. They're just trying to cover their ass. And if we, you know, Obama's got to come down on them, and we've got to get people inside that can start telling us the truth. Because it's more devastating than we're hearing. Yep.
No, there's no question. I couldn't agree more. Jody, thank you so much for what you are doing and have done and will, I'm sure, continue to do for this country. And thanks for giving us a slice of your afternoon to share a little bit of the story with everybody here at the Young Turks. Jody Evans, co-founder of Code Pink, codepink.org, one of a series of activist organizations that have been springing up in this country. And in the case of Code Pink, perhaps a nice way to meet a lovely young lady who shares your value system.